What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing something that Nikola Vucevic said that has sparked major interest in the Chicago Bulls' future and ultimately the decisions that they are now going to have to make. Basically, what Nikola Vucevic said is that he wants to start competing for a championship. And at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the Bulls will probably not be the destination to do that in. So, that sparks a lot of interest, right? Can the Bulls find a way to make Vucevic compete for a championship? If not, can the Bulls find a way to trade Vucevic to a destination where he can win a championship? What is the best possible outcome for Nikola Vucevic and bringing a championship back to his career or bringing a championship into his career? Is it even possible to do? Well, there's a lot to talk about in that regard, so let's get started. But before we do, if you enjoy the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Nikola Vucevic and whether or not you think he can, A, find a destination that can help him compete for a championship, and B, whether or not he could still be a starting big man in this league in order to do that. That, to me, is more of a question than anything. So with that being said, let's get stuck into it. Vucevic is a guy that I respect. Vucevic is a guy that never gave up on this Bulls team. Maybe there was a stint in this season where you felt he was a little bit disinterested, but as soon as he saw a way to fit into this team, he jumped at the chance. And he played a different style, he played a unique way, and he helped the Bulls win games. In my opinion, he got a lot more respect this season than any other season in his Chicago Bulls career at this point. I really believe that. And I'm a very massive admirer of what Nikola Vucevic did this season. So with that being said, his desire to win a championship for me is something that I cannot blame him for. Let's be honest, he's not getting any younger. And his regression is probably starting to begin. And whether you like it or not, Vucevic probably would like to leave this Bulls team in order to go and get that championship. The first question we need to ask is, can the Bulls actually build a team to build a championship around him? And the short and simple answer to that question is no. Right now, we are not in a position to speed up that process and to go and try to compete for a championship in order to meet Nikola Vucevic's needs. We're not in that position. We have a young foundation at the moment, a core that you could truly see a value and future in, a young team that really thrived, and we should be looking to build upon that in the right way, not risking it all away to try to go for a one-hit wonder type of season like we did do previously with AK's trades for Nikola Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball. That team worked well on paper, but that was an aging team when we traded for them and we signed them. So it's hard to say that we should be doing that again. So I don't think the Bulls is the right place for Nikola Vucevic. So that's the first thing I want to say. And if it is time for Nikola Vucevic to go, whether it's via a trade or via certain other options, I obviously will wish him nothing but the best. So the next thing is, can a trade be done in which Nikola Vucevic gets sent to a championship team? To me, the way that I view it at least, when I look around the league and I see the big men that some of these teams have, I think it's hard to trade Nikola Vucevic to a championship contender. For a couple of reasons. One, his $20 million contract. Thankfully, it's on an expiring deal, and at the end of the day, a team might be willing to take that on. But also because a lot of the teams have set big men. Big men that they can see a future in, whether it's a younger big man that's rising to the occasion or the established big men around the league that could do a little bit of everything for a team as well. The big man position is a hard one to kind of fight for at the moment. So Vucevic has his spot here, right? He's a starting center for the Bulls here. And if he stays here next year, he will be a starting big man for the Chicago Bulls again. But around the league, is he a starting big man anymore? Would he be a starter on a championship team? And would a team trade their big man for Nikola Vucevic? It's a difficult answer. It's a difficult question. And I honestly don't think there are many teams out there that are going to be trading for Nikola Vucevic at this current point in time. You know, I used to say the Golden State Warriors, and I used to say the Dallas Mavericks. Those were the teams that I think Vucevic could do well in. Well, obviously with the Luka Doncic trade from Dallas, and Dallas prioritizing defense now, don't ask me about Dallas, but I don't know what they're doing. But still, if that's the approach they're taking, Vucevic is not the right man for them. He's not a good defender. And yes, he could play center and he could play next to AD, and that will obviously help them offensively, but that's not the answer for them if that's what they're looking for. And Golden State is probably still an ideal destination, but do they have the money to trade a $20 million contract at the moment? I don't think they do with them signing Jimmy Butler. So it's hard. It's very difficult. And I don't think there are many teams that are going to be trading for Nikola Vucevic. With that being said, there is another way that this can go. And this is probably the way that it will end up going if the Bulls can't find a trade for Nikola Vucevic, and if they're not necessarily utilizing him the way that we probably did this season. And that is a simple and easy buyout. The Bulls could just buy out Nikola Vucevic. And look, I think he's earned enough respect from the organization where if he asks for a buyout, if there is no trade possible for them to make, the Bulls would give him a buyout. I believe that. It's very similar to the Kevin Love situation with Miami a long time ago. Yes, I think Kevin Love spent more time in Miami than Vucevic did for the Bulls, but Vucevic has done a lot for the Bulls. And with Kevin Love, it was technically Kevin Love with the Cavs actually, but still, either way, Kevin Love won a championship for the Cavs actually, so scratch that entire argument. But still, Kevin Love did a lot for the Cavs, and I think they ended up buying him out, and he went to Miami. I think the Bulls would probably do something like that for Nikola Vucevic if they can't find a trade. They would buy him out at his request, of course, if he does request that. And with now the opportunity to be making less money, he can sign on for basically $2 to $3 million in that season, getting bought out for $20 million as well. So he's keeping his money, and he's only making more money with the signing from a buyout. He could pick his own destination, because I think a team would take him off the bench. I think a team would take a chance on him because he's very, very talented. He's a talented big man. And there are not many big men in the league that could do what Vucevic does for a team. So I think there'll be a whole bunch of teams biting at the chance of getting Nikola Vucevic from the buyout market, but might not be willing to buy on a trade. So if Vucevic does request that buyout and the Bulls give it to him, that's the best option, in my opinion, to see him go to a championship contending team. A team like the Warriors per se, or a team like Denver, because Denver needs another big man. They just need another big man. They need a backup big man. Why not bring Nikola Vucevic as their backup? Give Jokic more time to rest. Or the Lakers. The Lakers need a big man. Probably not Vucevic, but it's a big man, and they definitely need one. Whatever the NBA looks like next season, I'm sure there'll be a team that could use a backup big man or even a starting big man that can maybe push them to title contention. But to me, the stumbling block is that price. It is the $20 million, and it is the trade. So we'll see. Maybe the Bulls just don't care and will just trade Vucevic to anyone. We could do that as well. We don't necessarily, we have the rights to trade him, and maybe the Bulls should be looking for the best trade possible for themselves and not for Nikola Vucevic. There's a lot of variables there, of course, as there is for every sort of move and every sort of player's contract and deals and everything. But all I'm saying is the best route for Nikola Vucevic to go to a championship team is if the Bulls buy him out. Whether or not that happens or not, if we do buy him out, it'll be after the trade deadline, that's for certain. We're going to be keeping him around as long as possible. So we'll see. I think a lot has to go wrong for the Bulls to buy him out, is what I'm trying to say as well. Time will tell. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.